right, welcome back to the show. We are actually here in the Bait Lab. I want to remind you, Bait Lab presentation is brought to you by Sportco and Outdoor Emporium. Pretty much everything we see on the table here we can find at Sportco or OE. If you can't get in the store, check them out online. Order everything at sportco.com. We want to talk Blackmouth fishery. Obviously, it opened here just this last week. So now areas 10, 11, and 13 are open for Blackmouth. One fish retention over 22 inches. So there are a number of things we can put out in front of them. Drop down on the downrigger and try to find these tasty Blackmouth. First and foremost, it starts with the fishing rod. You guys know we're with Edge Rod. So we are running the 1065, SAR 1065. It's a 10.5-foot rod. It is rated at 12 to 30 pounds. It's the 1065 model. So ideal for downrigger fishing. You can load the heck out of these rods and they perform extremely well in the downrigger. They're also a great universal rod to use on your lead fisheries. This is a 360 series, so it's designed to even fish the lead, the 360 flashers in your Columbia River, in your shallow Coho fisheries in Puget Sound. This rod gets it done in both applications. So if you're looking for a new downrigger rod, make sure you check out the 1065s through Edge that you're gonna utilize in multiple fisheries. So what are we connecting to the terminal end of that? I run braided line. I got about a 30 to 35 foot bumper on there, a 40-pound test of monofilament, because your downrigger clips like to bite onto monofilament much better than braid. We're gonna clip a flasher on there. Now, tried and true 11-inch flasher has been around forever in various, from various manufacturers. You know, the Herring Aid with the glow, the red stripe in green, the red racer. Back in the day, you know, this has got the moon jelly on there. It's got the color contrast in the red, and it's got the flash. This has a tremendous amount of UV color contrast, dark in gold, and of course, like I mentioned, the glow. A lot of this stuff, when we go after Blackmouth, you're going to hear me say UV and glow, UV and glow. There's a good reason for that. It just flat out works. More times than not anymore, I'm running the Brad's Evolution flasher. Now, unlike this here, this first generations, these are 11-inch. The Brad's flashers are 10-inch flashers, single fin, but the nice thing about them is they got the built-in breakaway, which you just cannot dispute how well these work. They also have 3 different locations for your pull point. Puget Sound, I typically, on downrigger fishing, I'm always running it in the center as it affords enough lip to dig and rotate. Now, most of your flashers will come with UV and flash. I tend to add glow to the back of these because I want to run them in Puget Sound, and Brad's just coming out with glow, but we haven't hit the market yet. So add some glow tape to the back of these. I think you're going to really like how they perform, and the tractability, and the fact that it's pretty much a guaranteed release every time, and you are fighting the fish, eliminating the pull, the flasher. So off of that flasher, tons of opportunities. I think looking down here at the table, you know, one that doesn't get used often enough in Puget Sound, and this time of year you want to take advantage of it because there's no dogfish around. So no dogfish, lots of bait. Why not at least put one rod out there with bait? Now I'm running red label herring, or if you can find small anchovy, you're going to be well suited to match the hatch, so to speak. This red label fits really well in a Rice Davis anchovy helmet. Now remember, we got to pin our friction point right here with a toothpick, jam it in there against your line. You got to have that pull point in there to produce friction, and I'll show you why that is. We're going to pop the red pin out, the eye. You stick this red label in here. Now, the nice thing about red label is they fit in these anchovy helmets really, really well. So I pop that in there, okay? Now I'm going to take the first hook. I like to go just behind the dorsal fin. Pull a little extra slack there, just behind the dorsal fin, mid-body, and pop it on through, lay it alongside the body here, and then a nice little pull against your friction point. And that puts your arc or your bend in your herring. Trailer hook stays just at the tip of the tail, and that thing will spin like a drill bit all day long and hold up well. This has been cured in Pottsky's fire brine. Firms it up and makes a really durable bait, and fishing them in the helmets, they're going to fish for a long time. So we have a number of options here looking at the table. You know, spoons work well. The Brad's cup plugs. The Netzel is a great morning plug with the chrome in the glow. Again, don't discount the importance of the glow. So that size plug, full size Brad's cut plug is with the chrome and the glow works very well. We're going to pack that with some tuna, or even cut up, minced up sardine or herring, something like that, anchovy. The Mountain Rose, if you can find it in the cut plug, but right now it's mostly out in the full length skinny. But that color combination in Puget Sound worked extremely well last year. And the old reliable Seahawk. Brad's cut plugs do work well for Blackmouth, Chinook in general. In Puget Sound, we caught a ton of them last year on the cut plugs. Don't discount how well they work. Looking at spoons and hoochies, you know, who doesn't love a green splatterback hoochie? I insert ace high flies or insert skirts into your hoochie, so it has more flash, larger volume, and a bigger profile. When it comes to spoons, again, glow and UV. Now, you probably won't see me fish anything less in size than a 3.5 Kingfisher spoon or number 4. And you can see the size difference here. And what are we putting on our spoons, okay? Dress them up. The nice thing about, say, like the herring aid, you got the colors, you got the glow. The cookies and cream with glow back. The two-face, it's got color contrast, darkening on the back, and of course the other eye. All of these perform very well. You'll see kind of a pattern here of my spoon selections and choices, right? There's a lot of similarities. Cop car works extremely well, especially if you can find the glow cop car. Make sure you're putting on your Potskey's Fire Gel. Herring and of course the anise in combination on those spoons performs extremely well. Don't discount how well scenting up your spoons can aid in your success. Another thing about your spoons, real quick before we get out of here, make sure we're cutting off the manufactured hook. And I like to replace them with a snap ring, a barrel swivel, and then of course on the number 4, the size 4 spoon, I'm going with a 4/0 hook, okay? And with the 3.5s, you can get by with a 3/0 hook. One thing about leader length on these, and you can run 25, 30, 40 pound tests, depending on what your preference is, monofilament and or fluorocarbon. But for me, these size 4s, I'll run a lot because I want to try to stay off the small fish. A 4/0 hook, a number 4 spoon. I just put 40 pound tests on because I like the amount of whip that it puts on your spoon. And I'm running it at 40 inches. Cut that back or, time up. I'll run my spoons anywhere from 32 to 42 inches, depending on how they're performing and what the fish are going after. So a lot of options here, a lot of things to look at. The Brad's cut plugs. We'll get into the jigs here, the Grim Reefers that I have sitting on the table next time we talk about Blackmouth. But that's pretty much the variety of items that I like to use when chasing Blackmouth. Don't discount the opportunity to put glow and UV down and see what your results will be. All right, gonna jump out for a quick break. We'll be back in the studio right after this.